story to tell. Russia is believed to be bringing the large number of tanks, artillery, and other heavy armored vehicles closer to the border with Ukraine, raising fears of an imminent conflict in the region. The last time Russia gathered a lot of troops on the Ukrainian border was around the time it annexed Crimea, and this deployment is of a similar scale. According to Western press, Russian artillery force, with a series of self-propelled artillery and multiple large rocket systems, has approached the border with Ukraine, despite concerns of NATO and other countries in the region. Despite NATO's urging of Russia to stop the actions of escalating tensions in the region, Moscow still asserted that the Russian mobilization of troops inside its territory, this is entirely Russia's internal affairs. Other countries, especially NATO and Ukraine, have absolutely no right to prevent Russia from moving troops, weapons, and military equipment inside its territory. Based on satellite images, it can be seen that the extremely powerful weapons have been drawn to Russia-Ukraine border. Just the artillery fire here is enough to crush all efforts of NATO and Ukraine if Moscow really wants to open fire. Specifically, the Russian army has brought to the Russian-Ukraine border at least one battalion of self-propelled gun Msta-S Akatsiya. This is a 152.4mm self-propelled gun of the Soviet Union, was developed in 1968. The self-propelled gun has a maximum rate of fire of 4 rounds per minute, a maximum range of 18.5 kilometers with conventional ammunition, up to 24 kilometers with increased rocket-assisted projectile. Russia even brought to this hotspot 2 self-propelled artillery battalions of Msta-S Msta-B. This is Russia's most modern self-propelled gun at the present time. The Msta-S Msta-S is a 152.4mm self-propelled howitzer designed by Soviet Union, which entered service in 1989 as the successor to the Msta-S Akatsiya. The vehicle is based on the T-80 tank hull, but is powered by the T-72's diesel engine. Msta-S Msta-B has a higher rate of fire than its predecessor, up to 10 rounds per minute, an average rate of about 6 rounds per minute. In the satellite images collected by the West, we can also see the appearance of Msta-65 Msta-B howitzer. This is a Soviet-taught 152.4mm howitzer. This weapon has been fielded in Soviet and Russian forces since at least 1987 and is currently in service with Russian front and army-level artillery units. The Msta-65 howitzer like many pieces of Soviet artillery, is capable of firing nuclear artillery shells. Ju-65 has a quite high rate of fire, up to a maximum of 6 rounds per minute, even though it is only loaded manually. The Russian Msta-B also has the advantage of being lightweight, up to only 6.8 tons, making it easy to transport on the battlefield. One of the two most frightening weapons that the Russian army brought to the border area was the B-27 Uragan. This is a self-propelled multi-rocket launcher system designed in Soviet Union. It began its service with the Soviet Army in the late 1970s and was its first modern spin and fin-stabilized heavy multiple rocket launcher. Each BM-27 complex has a total of 16 220mm large tubes. The BM-27 can reach a range of up to 35 kilometers, capable of flattening an area of square kilometers. According to Western media, Russia currently has at least 6 of these weapons complexes in the border area with Ukraine. And finally, the TOS-1A, Russia's best multi-barrel launch missile system, and arguably the best in the world right now. The weapon also uses a caliber 220mm with 24 large tubes. With the power of the above artillery force, it is not difficult to realize how formidable the power that the Russian army possesses in the Ukraine border area. And Kiev certainly wise enough to understand that confronting Moscow is not a good choice. My video about Russian artillery ends here. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.